What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best builds tier list in Division 2 Year 6 Season 3. If you're here to speedrun through the endgame, melt bosses in seconds, or just find a build that fits your playstyle, then I've got you covered. We will cover the top 20 new meta builds from worst to best, so you can pick and choose which setup is right for you. Also, if you're interested in buying other PC or console games with 50 or 70% discount, then check out Instant Gaming. For example, I want to buy Elden Ring, so we just click on Add to Cart, then click Pay, then input our details and pay. After payment is complete, we will receive activation key, then copy and paste the key in, and it's that simple. So what are you waiting for? Click my link in the description and check out Instant Gaming for yourself. So moving over to the first category, which is the D tier, and here we will place the Striker's battlegear build. Unfortunately, not all setups age gracefully, and this is one of them. This build uses traditional weapons like the FAMAS or the Police M4 instead of the ST's Elmos engine. While this build still stacks and does decent damage, it simply does not compare to the new Striker variant that benefits from the exotic synergy and the hybrid perks. Without the added bonuses from the ST's Elmo or the Coyote, it ends up being an outdated version of something better. Next in the D tier we have the Ouroboros build. The setup is centered around the Ouroboros exotic SMG. While on the paper it looks interesting, it lacks the raw power, synergy or the utility of a more established SMG build. The talents will not synergize well with the meta sets, and without the heavy rework or buffs, this build can't keep up in either way the PvE or PvP. It's fun for teamed builds, but not for the full endgame. And finally, in the D tier, we have the microwave Bluescreen build variant 2, and later in the video we will compare these and what the variants mean. So the setup is forced due to its attempt to apply multiple status effects via the weak talents and the improperly scaled skills. It's often referred to as the Frankenstein of a build, by having a bunch of conflicting pieces, without one specific focus or the purpose. This is a build that might be entertaining in a casual play, but it's best to leave it behind. Then for the next one we have C tier, and here we will place the ongoing directive build. This is a niche setup with a gear set that revolves around the status effects and the ammo generation. It's fun to use and has utility in a team play, where ammo can be scarce, but in most solo or high endgame content, its damage ceiling is simply too low. When we combine it with the Pestilence or the Eclipse protocol, it becomes more viable, but it's very conditional. Next in the C tier we have the turret build, which relies heavily on the assault turret and the hives to deal damage. This type of build was stronger in the earlier meta, but has since been outpaced by the hybrid setups like the Capacitor Ninja. While it can still clear content on challenging difficulty, it lacks the burst or flexibility needed for the legendary content. It's beginner friendly and is great for solo farming, but won't carry you in the coordinated group. And lastly, in the C tier we have the updated version of the Bluescreen microwave, which, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, is a different version. So this build uses the exotic Bluescreen LMG to apply distributions and the status effects through the synergy with the Hive and the Chem launcher. It's interesting for control-styled gameplay and pairs decently with the Eclipse protocol, but the overall damage is overwhelming. It's more of a support or experimental build that needs very specific encounters to shine. Next up we have B tier, and for the first one we will place the Pestilence build. This setup is built around the exotic Pestilence LMG. This build is most effective in extended fights where the damage over time debuff from the Pestilence can spread between enemies. By using the true Patriot gear set, you will enhance the buff uptime and the armor utility. It's great in missions with the large enemy groups, but struggles in the shorter skirmishes or against bosses with fast regen. Overall, this build rewards players who know how to kite enemies and control aggro zones. Next in the B tier we have the China Light skill build. This is a yellow core heavy setup that amplifies skill damage through the China Light bonuses. In the skill tier stacking, it shines in PvE, especially with explosive skills, like the Seekers and the artillery turrets. When paired with the glass cannon and combined arms, it will output massive damage, but it requires careful management of cooldowns and even staying out of the enemy's fire. It's very strong in the group content, but struggles with the tankier solo play. Then following that we got the Iron Lung build, which has unique take on survivability and crowd control, by using a mix of armor regen and the bleed base gear. It's often paired with a Ridgeways Bride, that helps this build create a loop where the damage and healing area are close linked. It works well in content where you're constantly surrounded, but falls short against bosses or the ranged enemies. It's more of a niche build that rewards aggressive in-your-face type of play. And lastly, in the B tier, we got the Hunter's Fury build. This is very similar to the Determined build, but now instead is focused more on shotguns and SMGs. When close up, the bonus armor on kill and the disoriented effect make this build very strong in PvE and even in some PvP content. However, the effectiveness will drop drastically when you're forced into a long-range engagement, which makes you less versatile. Next up we have A tier, and for the first one we got the Heartbreaker build. This setup is designed around building bonuses around the armor and weapon damage, by continuously hitting enemies. For example, the AC-12 shotgun will synergize very well with the Heartbreaker stacking mechanic, by quickly building up bonus armor and the weapon damage. With a Memento backpack you will gain even more staying power through the armor regen and the damage bonuses. This build can easily stand toe-to-toe with elites and bosses in legendary content. It's not as fun as the Striker, but it's safer and more forgiving, making it ideal for players who prefer a steadier pace. Next, in the A tier, we also got the RPK flatline build. This is a precision-based setup, leveraging the flatline talent and the RPK stable handling. With the technician specialization providing the linked laser pointer, this build will gain bonus damage to the pulsed enemies. When you pair it with the contractor's gloves, the Grupo Sombra for crit damage, and the right mix of Providence and the Seska pieces, then the RPK flatline build will deliver consistent mid-range suppression and high crit bursts. Overall, this is a great option for players who want a solid performance without relying on the exotic gear. Next in the A tier we got the Sniper build, which continues to be lethal in the right player hands throughout the year. By combining the Sharpshooter specialization, then the Nemesis or the Mantis exotic sniper, and high headshot damage through the Chainkiller and the Headhunter, then this build turns you into a boss assassin. It's especially deadly in missions with long sightline, where you can stay out of the aggro range. While squishy and position dependent, the potential to one-shot elites and named enemies make it a top tier PvE tool for players with a good aim. And now, rounding up the A tier, we got the Glass Cannon build. This one is built entirely around the maximum DPS, as it uses the Glass Cannon talent to amplify all outgoing damage by 25%, at the cost of taking more incoming damage. This one is often paired with the Vigilance on the backpack, then the full red course and a high crit chance gear. While not the most forgiving, but when used in experienced player hands who knows how to position and move tactically, then this build dominates most PvE encounters. And now finally we've come to the S tier, and for the first one we got the Elmos Striker Coyote build. This is an absolute powerhouse in PvE. This build combines the raw stacking power of the Striker's battlegear set with the exotic assault rifle of the ST's Elmos engine, and the synergy between the Coyote's mask, which makes it a great crit-based beast. The Striker will stack quickly as you land shots, and with the right mods and all the red attributes, this build will melt through the enemies in a legendary content, especially with the Memento backpack, giving you armor, bonus weapon damage, and survivability through the trophies. It demands consistent aim and aggression, but the payoff is insane. Then also in the S tier we got the Hunter's Determined build. This is a rifle-based headshot machine that takes a full advantage of the Determined talent in the Chainkiller chest piece. If you can consistently land headshots, then this build delivers massive burst damage, thanks to the perfect Headhunter, resetting Determined and chaining your next shot almost instantly. The synergy with the Hunter's Fury will boost your close range DPS, making it perfect for ambush playstyles in PvE. Memento again ties everything together with armor regen and the damage buffs, so overall this is a high skill ceiling and a high rewarding build that thrives in experienced player hands. And finally, for the last setup, we got the Capacitor Ninja build. We will be using the exotic Capacitor assault rifle, which scales damage with the skill tier, and pairing it with the Ninja Bike Messenger backpack will make this build into a hybrid damage dealing and a skill using machine. The backpack allows you to stack different brand bonuses that were previously not available, giving you immense flexibility. The build combines red, blue and yellow core attributes for a perfect hybrid that can drop enemies in seconds, while decimating groups with the skill damage. Overall, it's complex, modular and incredibly effective in both solo and team PvE and PvP. So, let me know what you think about these builds in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then you definitely don't want to miss my previous top 3 best builds video, where I showed even more powerful Division 2 builds. So click the screen now and I'll see you in the next one.